What's going on all you gamers? Today we're going to be jumping into some more Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and this time I'm going to be going over Afflictions, everything you need to know about them, which ones I think are personally probably the best, and how they can create a truly powerful build for your character. So if you want to know everything about Poison Ivy's Afflictions and why you should be using them, then this is the video for you. Now, a little ways into the game you're going to recruit Poison Ivy, and she's really going to help you out with pretty much your elemental damage side of things. She's going to be having a whole host of afflictions that you can put into your build, and some of them are well worth knowing about. Now, afflictions come in 4 different varieties. You're going to be able to get these in Deep Freeze, Venom Frenzy, Diablo Blaze and Live Wire Bolt. And I have a feeling probably further down the line they'll add a few extra ones as well. Now, all of these are well worth incorporating on your character, but each comes with a benefit and a negative. The first one I'm going to be going over is going to be Deep Freeze. Deep Freeze is probably one of the easiest to be using on your characters, as it's going to give you some absolutely amazing crowd control as well as some really high damage. It's going to freeze enemies in place for 10 seconds, and those enemies are going to be susceptible to 200% damage from your firearms. Also, if you're able to do any kind of pushback or knock them off, get a massive amount, 1000% damage from falling. Personally, I would say this is probably the easiest one in the game to use, and it means you don't really have to worry about your crit damage, because you'll be getting that overall boost from the damage in place from your firearms. However, again, the negatives to this is that they take significantly less melee damage, so I definitely wouldn't put this into any focused melee build, as well as the fact that it nullifies critical hit chance and ammo drops. So if you're going for a crit build or a melee build, you probably want to stay clear of this one. If you just want a big damage boost and a lot of crowd control going on, then this is definitely one to look at. Over to Venom Frenzy, and I've got to admit this is probably one of my personal favourites. This is going to craze enemies, this is going to last for around about 20 seconds, which is a very long duration, and it's going to make those enemies attack other enemies as well. The downside to this, crazed enemies have an increased health pool, but I found because of the crowd control that's going on, and because of some of the weapons and things that I had going into my gear slots later on, this was definitely a very powerful affliction that could cause an absolute abundance of chaos and help me to take all the targets down fast. Over to Diablo Blaze, this one's going to be all about your burn effects. Now you'll be able to set them on fire and they'll be burning for 20 seconds. Burning enemies take damage every 1.5 seconds, and I've seen this go up massive amounts later on, so you can get some really nice damage over time effects with burn. However, the only bad thing, it nullifies your shield harvest chances on burning enemies, and burning termagants now move faster. This one is really good for anyone that's after a damage over time effect going on, especially on your grenade if you're trying to throw a whole bunch of grenades out and see everything on fire, but you're going to want to make sure you've got other ways in your build to activate the shield harvesting effect, otherwise you're going to suffer with your shields. Over to the Live Wire Bolt Affliction, and this one can be quite insane with the right setup. Now you're going to electrify your enemies for 15 seconds, and all firearm hits on the electrified enemies are going to be critical hits. If you've got a very high damaging firearm build going on, you don't have to invest much into your crit hit whatsoever, and instead you can boost the damage and the crit hit damage as much as possible with this. The downside to this, however, and it is quite a big downside, electrified enemies deal significantly more damage. I would say probably one of the ideal people with something like this is someone who can keep a bit of distance, maybe someone like a Deadshot, because late game some of the enemies hit you ridiculously hard. Making them stronger definitely won't work out well for you if you're getting hit by a bundle of them, so this is definitely a hit them hard, hit them fast kind of tactic going on in order to take them down before they take you down. Now, currently in the game, if I was to rank these in order of what I thought was strongest, remember it does depend on your build setup and all of them can definitely work in some cases, but I would probably say Venom Frenzy is top tier at the moment. Venom Frenzy has a whole bunch late game that's buffing the damage for this. Deep Freeze is amazing for your CC and just easy to use all round. Live Wire Bolt in 3rd place, as it can be absolutely devastating on the right builds, but I don't think it works in every build. And last place, unfortunately, I'd say probably be Diablo Blaze at the moment. Even though this is really good for its damage over time, you have got the black mask weapons in the game currently, and I think a lot of people will be using those to apply the burn effects from probably a greater distance as it is. But yeah, these are prone to change depending on what playstyle and build you're going for, so don't take this as gospel, it's just how I'd personally rank them at the moment. Now, the cool thing with Afflictions, you can chop and change these at will as long as you've got enough resources. You can always apply these and reapply these to your melee weapons and your grenades. Unfortunately, you can't put them on your firearms currently, but anytime you want to apply it to your melee or your grenades, you're just going to jump straight into them, change them over and apply whichever one you want. It will obviously cost a little bit of resources, but you can do this in the field and you can do it back in your base, so it's great for a change up whenever you need it. Finally, very late game, Poison Ivy's also going to be able to kind of enhance the weapons a little bit further by supercharging them and making it so that the duration of the affliction lasts even longer. So if you've got extra resources and you're really trying to get the most from your weapons and your afflictions, then you can find the ones that you want to supercharge. You're probably only going to be doing these to your top tier ones that you'll be using as a set loadout, but you'll be able to boost the rank of these, and then you can make the affliction go all the way up on their duration, which can really help you out in those battles, especially if you've made them prone to that certain type of damage. They're going to be suffering from it for longer, so the effects will stay in place, allowing you to take advantage of it. But yeah, hopefully that's helped a few of you guys and girls out. There's going to be a lot more content from me on the way. As always, for All Things Gaming, take care. I'll see you on the next day.